Well guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back once again to another video. You join us here on a mini adventure today. We're out here for 4 days in the wilderness camping. I'm really excited to get into the forest. Now the forest in question is Carmanah Provincial Park. Now there is a few issues because it's been a massive landslide. It's huge. We've already been down and checked it out and the road's completely gone. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to set up camp for the night and we're going to hike in there tomorrow morning. But what a trip it's been already. We went down into Looping Canyon just for the look. You actually need waders or at least maybe even a boat to get in there to photograph it. So that's something that me and Adam have got planned in future. We want to get in there and photograph it. Adam's been in there a couple of times before, but I've never been. And we're going to try out a few locations. I think we're just going to see how it works out. We've got to get past that landslide. That was just unbelievable to see how much power must have been coming down that mountain. And as you can see, I've already got my camera set up just in case the sky lights up. Now there's a lot of cloud at the moment, but it is supposed to clear tomorrow and the next few days, so I'm hopeful that we might get some good light down in the forest, especially coming across those old growth trees. What are you having, chicken or dark matter, Adam? Guinness?
I'm having filet mignon with asparagus.
Sounds
and, scallops.
Oh, right. Get on it then, we're waiting. Flies. Well, good morning everybody. Now today's the day we're going to venture down into Carmanah Provincial Park in search of those old growth trees. We had a lovely meal last night and chilled out by the campfire, and we got some nice light. We didn't get an amazing sunset, but I think I managed a couple of shots anyway, and it was just nice to relax after the long drive in here yesterday. So what we've got to do is we've got to actually cross this particular section before we get to the park itself, and it's going to be a couple of kilometers hiking because we can't drive to where we usually camp, but this, as you'll be able to see, is unbelievable. It really is. So we're going to have to make our way across all this to get to the trailhead that we're going to, and not forgetting the bugs. There's a lot of bugs today, but they're not biting, they're just annoying more than anything. So it looks like we've came across the second lot of the landslide here. You can see behind us here, down this gully leading down the mountain, it's been that forceful. It's actually brought all the soil with it at the same time. Sheer bare rock underneath, and then you've got all the trees piled up behind us there to the left hand side. The bugs are starting to annoy us. We've got to make it down this way now, and looks like we might be climbing underneath some logs here to make it down onto the trail. But there's actually another landslide further along. Well, finally we've made it. So excited to get in again. Now, we definitely ran the gauntlet there, and at one point we didn't actually think we were going to be able to make it in, but we made our way around those 3 landslides and we're here. So we're going to head on in and see if we can find some of those old growth trees. We're here now, as you can see, the glorious trees behind us here. We're here in the forest, and it's a bit harsh with the light at the moment, so it's going to be a hard shoot, I think, today, unless we get some of that cloud cover. Beautiful area to be back. It's been a while since I was here. I'd done a workshop here a couple of years ago, and it was such a success, and it was a brilliant time for everyone. Now, I came to this grouping of trees. I wanted to capture something, and I think it might work as an image. Now, there's a lot of chaos in there. There's been a lot of destruction, as you've already seen, so the forest floor is really messy. But I'm hoping the power of these trees, the sheer size, is going to take away from the messy ground below my feet. So we've got this grouping of trees here. Lovely display of old growth trees. We've got some really vibrant green mosses on there. Now, we'll be able to see how backlit it is because of that sunshine, and it really silhouettes them trees. We've got this one that's just basically a stump. It's like where it's broke off. I'm trying to place it in the centre. It's always important to try and gain as much separation as you can and give the trees plenty of room to breathe. It is pretty harsh, and we're getting some highlights in the foreground, which isn't great. Where the sun is, it's going to pass the larger tree to the left hand side, so I'm hoping that that's going to cut out, don't mind the flies, I hope that's going to cut out some of that light. It's already dipped, so I'm going to get back to the camera and get a shot, so you'll be able to see how quick the light changes. I actually missed it there, it dipped, but what I'm wanting is that sun to move beyond that tree, and I think it's going to cut out some of the light that's causing us issues in the foreground. So I'm taking this with the 35mm. I have put the polarizer on. Remember, don't overly use the polarizer. So this is going to be my first shot back here in Kawana Provincial Park. This embankment used to reach over there. There's a bridge back there that we used to walk across, and it's just completely upturned and gone. So I'm just trying to figure out where Adam and the rest of the guys are, but it's changed so much. So it looks like I've met up with the guys. At least the old growth's still intact for now. Yeah, over the top seems easier.
We lost Kevin, but one out of two's not bad, is it?
What, you lost Kevin?
Yeah.
Where was he?
I don't know. 1 out of two's not bad, though, is it?
Me knew he was still here.
That's the main thing.
So we're going to take a break. As you can see, the light is pretty harsh at the moment. So we're going to wait for the other two guys to catch up. See how this light, see how it moves. We are getting some clouds, just not quite thick enough at the moment. But the good thing is, like Adam just said, the big trees are still standing. So you'll be able to see it's been quite the challenge today, it's been quite the adventure, but totally worth it. Now Adam and the guys are a bit further back there finishing the lunch, but the light's getting better now. We are getting intervals where we're getting some of that cloud, and I wanted to try and find, and I mean try and find, a location where they've been to in the past. Now some of these areas are unrecognisable through those winter storms, and it's really transformed this forest, so it's making it quite hard work to find old areas that you've been to in the past. So I've photographed this area before from this angle, basically just including all these old growth trees. Rather than getting further back, I want to introduce more of a dominating foreground, and because we've got some lovely foliage there from the forest, some lovely different shades of green, and the idea of bringing the 14mm, I wanted to get in really close to this vegetation at the beginning of the shot over this log, and we've got some nice separation with these interesting trees. Tried it as a portrait, but it didn't really work because it was including too much of that sky, but I want the main focus to be on the area that you can see in front of us there. Now I'm shooting this at f16. I'm going to focus stack this one. We aren't getting as much wind or breeze, so every now and again everything goes really still and allows us to get the shot. No need for the polarizers, there's a lot of saturation in there, the colours are already really vibrant, and when that sun's diffused you don't get any of those harsh highlights in there. But really pleased, it's another shot to capture today. Now I couldn't find it on the way in, I was bothered that the trees had already fallen, but as you can see they're very much still standing. So I'm going to get back and get this shot, and I hope you like it. Now don't get us wrong, it's beautiful in here, it really is, but when you've got these hot spots everywhere and it just doesn't work as an image. It really is beautiful though, surrounded by these beautiful trees and the mosses. That bright light just can't work with it. I think we've decided to take a slow hike back out of here, run that gauntlet again, see if we can find Adam's mic. Adam lost his mic unfortunately, so how many is that?
3.
So he's lost 3 mics. So anyway, fantastic day. We're going to hike out and I'll see you back up at camp because there could be a chance of a nice sunset. Well, good morning everybody. Today brings a new day. Had great fun in Carmanor Provincial Park yesterday. Now a bit limited when it came to photographs, and you understand with all the destruction that was in there and all the bright sunlight like we've got today. We've got blue sky today. It was quite tricky to come across some shots, but what an adventure. What a brilliant day out with all the guys. So we're all packed up, we've had our breakfast, enjoying this amazing view behind us. We're going to choose a different location to camp for tonight. We have got another 2 camps, so excited for that. So I'm going to get back to the van. Adam's ready, Paul's ready at the top.
Let's do this!
So we've made our way down to one of me and Adam's favourite tree. Now the unfortunate thing, since we were here last, they have created this boardwalk around the tree. That's for the reason, there's a reason behind that, and that's to protect the root system. So when people come into view this fine specimen, they're not damaging the root system. Now I said to you earlier about we've got a blue sky day today. The light's very harsh. It's tricky to work with, but that doesn't mean to say there isn't shots there to be had. I've came in, I've got a bit further back, and I'm looking at the structure of the tree. We've got these really big burls coming off, and there's some colour in there. We've got greens, browns, there's some nice oranges in there. And as that sun shifts, some of that light becomes diffused, so the scene becomes a lot more balanced. It's absolutely amazing. There's still images there, you know, in Carmanor yesterday. It was really tricky. Once that cloud went, I was really struggling to come across any shots. But it was an amazing day, and that's what I want to try and bring out in this video. It's not always about capturing the images, it's the adventure getting to the area where you want to photograph. So what I wanted to do when I came in here, I knew I'd be going for the longer focal length because of that bright light. So I've put the 135mm on, really going in close, and I'm just selecting certain areas as that sun shifts. I want to include some of those burly patterns and shapes as they come down the tree. Now because I've got the 14mm with us this weekend, I'm going to get in really close with that wide angle lens. I'm going to go in with 135mm first, and then I'm going to swap out the lens and go in for the 14mm. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. You know, yesterday going into Carmanor, it was slim pickings regarding images, but the excitement seeing those landslides was terrific. It really was, and it just shows you how powerful nature is, but it also shows you how careful you have to be. Now we have got another couple of days out camping. We're going to explore some different areas. Hopefully we get better light, you never know, we'll have to cross our fingers on this one. So if you've enjoyed today's video, as always, don't forget, give it a thumbs up, help with that algorithm, get my name out there. Don't forget, leave a comment. It's always great to hear your thoughts on the images along with the video. So from this amazing forest, thanks once again for watching. Bye bye. Well equipped for the rainfall. More like he's going fishing, but you look quite smart actually. I quite like the look. You got the look.